What would have happened if Naruto joined Akatsuki after being betrayed by his friends? Chapter 1. Why did they do it?
Akatsuki wa tsudotta.
In this story, Naruto is 18 years old, and it had been a while after beat Akatsuki. The reports said that there were still some hidden in the shadows, but the supposed good news in all this was that Sasuke had returned to Konoha to help this. Everyone was happy about this, both because of Sasuke and Akatsuki. Without a doubt, everything seemed to be going well, but they still had a few who were scared by the Akatsuki survivors. Now, in the middle of the village we see a pink-haired girl walking. "Hi Naruto," Sakura said, bumping into the blonde on the way. "Oh. Sakura-chan, how are you?" Naruto asked, looking at the pink-haired girl with a smile. "Very happy, because Sasuke-kun returned to the village," Sakura only said with a smile. After a while of walking and talking around the village, the blonde's stomach rumbled. And Naruto at this gave a small smile and just said goodbye to the pink-haired girl. With the blonde without a doubt he was hungry, so he was heading for the Ichiraku ramen. But while he was on his way to said place, an Anbu appeared in front of him. "Anbu. Naruto, the Hokage calls you urgently." The blonde before the words of the Anbu did not know why it was the sudden call of the Hokage, but he only nodded and somewhat seriously said, "Oh sure, I'm going now." He said this, disappearing just like the Anbu. Now between roof and roof, we see Naruto jumping, and while he was jumping between said roofs, he suddenly heard a voice in his head. "Hey brat," Kurama said with a different attitude. "What's up Kurama?" Naruto asked somewhat confused. "I have a bad feeling brat," Kurama said a little uneasily. Naruto at his words, just thought the same, but continued on his way. After a few seconds, Naruto almost reached the Hokage tower, and entering through the main door of said tower, he went up the stairs and found Sasuke. "Hello Sasuke," said Naruto surprised, since he did not expect to find him in the tower of the Hokage. "Hello Naruto," said Sasuke seriously as forever. "The Hokage is waiting for you," was the only and last thing the Uchiha said to leave without saying anything else. Naruto at this, he did not know what was happening, but with more haste he went to the office of the Hokage. And when he arrived at the Hokage's office, he opened it at the touch and entering the first thing he asked was, "Did you call me Grandma Tsunade?" "Tsunade. Yes Naruto, I called you because I want you to become the next Hokage." Naruto at Grandma Tsunade's words was simply surprised, and was happy to hear those words from the Hokage. "Naruto. Are you talking seriously?" Grandma Tsunade said Naruto with a smile from ear to ear. "Yes Naruto, I'm serious," he said Tsunade repeating the same. "Wow, I didn't think it would be so fast," was the only thing Naruto said, still excited by the news. "Tsunade. Well, just for that I called you. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to see something about some paperwork so that the position is given to you as it should be." All this was said getting up and leaving the office. After a few minutes Naruto was still in the office not believing what had just happened. In addition to this, he was thinking about how he would be dressed as a Hokage, and everything he would do. But he was suddenly brought out of his thoughts by seeing how Sasuke entered the office. "Naruto. Oh Sasuke, guess what just happened to me?" He said this as he approached Sasuke. "You see, I'm going to become a Hokage. I just can't finish speaking this one, since suddenly a sword wielded by Sasuke pierced him." "Sasuke. Do you really believe that?" "Well, you'll see, you'll never be a Hokage," was the only thing the Uchiha said, pulling the sword out of Naruto's chest. And Naruto, faced with such an act by Sasuke, fell to the floor, and while he crawled bloody, he tried to reach the door. And when once it was near the door, someone opened it, and it looked like it was Sakura. Help me please," was the only thing Naruto said with his last breaths. Sakura at this was cold when she saw her partner team on the bloody floor, and also seeing the boy she likes with a bloody sword. What did you do, Sasuke, what did you do?" the pink-haired girl said angrily, running towards Sasuke with a fist. And Sasuke, seeing this alone in it, simply stops the blow with his hand and doesn't let go. But suddenly Tsunade arrives. And Sakura, quite upset, yelling, says, "Tsunade-sama, Sasuke just stabbed Naruto with that sword." To which Tsunade before this only says, What have you done, Sasuke? I told you that do in his house when no one sees you, he said, Tsunade, angry to see the body in her office. And before such words surprised Sakura, who did not know what was happening, and just wanted all this to be a joke. Sakura. But if he saved us from Akatsuki, and brought peace to the town, Sakura said angrily, fighting with Tsunade, what will we tell the others? Flashback. We see Naruto, who was fighting Nagato's puppets. He was undoubtedly losing the fight. Pain. I'm going to destroy this disgusting village and to all its inhabitants, and I will bring peace to world, Pain said when he realized he was winning. In Naruto's mind. Hey brat, I see that you no longer have strength enough. Let me help you. I promise that I don't get out of control and I'll come back later, beat that asshole, said Kurama, noticing how Naruto spit blood from his mouth. Naruto. I can't trust you, was the only thing the blonde said, worrying about what might happen if she released him. Kurama. I admit that I get out of control very easily, but if you let me fight I promise not to all bother you for a while. Plus if you die, I'll die too, so what do you say, brat? To which, at such words, he convinced Naruto. And Naruto, just nodding, took out the seal and opening Kurama's cage said, okay, help me, he said, all this knowing it was his last chance save Konoha. Out of Naruto's mind. We see how a red chakra came out of Naruto's body, and the only thing that could be heard from him was, how long has it been? Well, that doesn't matter, now it's my turn, and I'll finish you, piece of shit, he said, looking at Pain with a smile. Pain. Nagato's puppet at such words did not flinch, but if he knew there would be more fight than expected. Come here, you idiot, it's time to fight to death, said Kurama with a big amount of chakra accumulated. But Kurama, seeing that Pain did not make any movement, because he simply ran towards him with a fist. And Pain, seeing this, managed to narrowly dodge the fist, and when he tried to kick Kurama, he blocked it with his other arm. After several minutes they both stayed with the little force, then Kurama gave his last movement, Haja, throwing a giant sphere from chakra to Pain, which disintegrated Pain, and the other Nagato puppets. And once when Kurama realized he won, he gave a beast cry, but it was a bad idea. Since suddenly his eyes turned fiery red. He had simply lost control. And the villagers, only when they noticed that Naruto won they felt happy, but everything changed when they saw the nine-tailed Kyuubi run amok, who threw Baijudamas right and left. And Naruto, who inside saw this, was just trying to return to Kurama inside himself, but it didn't work. That's when his Naruto parents appear inside him, and help him. In the mind of Naruto. Sorry boy, I forgot that I had to control me, Kurama said resentfully. Don't worry, at least we beat Pain, he said, Naruto a little more relaxed after what happened. And after everything that happened, only the villagers would be seen, some of whom went to celebrate Naruto, but the most were only scared to see another turn to the Kyuubi. End of flashback. Listen, Sakura, Naruto would never have been a Hokage, because it leads to the fox of nine tails inside him, the Hokage and the others, even the people in general agreed with the execution of Naruto, Sasuke said, trying to calm Sakura down. Sakura. Be you, but, she just couldn't finish speaking since she was interrupted by Sasuke. Sasuke. Don't worry, now that he's gone. We can be together forever, Sasuke said in a seductive voice. Sakura. I want to be with you, Sasuke-kun, was the only thing the pink-haired said before the Uchiha's words and attitude. And after a few minutes, they took Naruto's body to a river with a waterfall. Where did they throw it? Now with Naruto, he did not know where he was, since he woke up as a lost soul in a different place. This one could see what they said, the whole village upon his death, all his peers agreed with his death. But when he saw all this he was suddenly teleported to a throne. Hi Naruto, said a dark voice. Who are you? Naruto asked doubtfully upon hearing that voice. I am a Shinigami, and I have seen everything. It happened to you. Really sad, ha ha ha, but you wouldn't like to take revenge on those who betrayed, he said in an evil voice. And Naruto, upon hearing those words, simply put on a serious face, and hardening his heart said, if I would very much like to take revenge on those bastards, he said this with empty eyes. Shinigami. Perfect, but first I'll give you a few skills to make all this more fun, the Shinigami said, happy that he accepted the proposal. After that, some of the following new skills were given to the blonde. Presence detector. Disintegration of fire. Superhuman strength. Regeneration. And among many other things. Shinigami. Now I will resurrect you as a new Naruto. Near the forest by a river, we see the Akatsuki survivors. Hey Konan, what are you doing? Nagato asked. Konan. I just think, maybe this isn't worth going on with. This he said sadly and in a low voice. Besides, only you, me, Kazame and Zetsu are left. We can't go on like this, Konan said sadly. After this, they both just fell silent. A few minutes passed. And we see Nagato who saw something very strange by the river and said, what is that? It seems that it is a corpse, Zetsu said as he carried it to the shore. But if it's Naruto Uzumaki, said Konan surprised to see it. How disgusting, Nagato affirmed when seeing that corpse. Disgusting, said Nagato upon seeing that corpse. After such words suddenly the corpse disintegrated leaving the few Akatsuki surprised. Then spent a few seconds in front of them flames of fire began to come out spontaneous. And it was seen how a Naruto appeared, which was taller, stockier, and the smile that characterized disappeared. Naruto. Oh, it's you. Next chapter, in Akatsuki, in my new family to be continue. Author's note. The next and other chapters will be in the description of the video. The goal of this video will be 100 likes. And well, if you want a greeting, leave it in the comment box. Finally, share, leave your like, that really motivates a lot. Now, with nothing more to say, take care and goodbye. End of note.